Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, I post videos all about luxury, beauty, lifestyle. So if you're into that kind of content, then definitely hit the subscribe button so you can join my little growing family here on YouTube. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my review and experience with the Louis Vuitton 6 key holder. Now you may be wondering, experience, what do you mean? So I have actually had a little bit of a roller coaster with this piece. So I kind of want to explain my thoughts, my review of the piece itself. I've owned this for actually basically exactly 1 year now. And I want to give you my thoughts on if I think it's worth it and go over some quality control issues. So if you want to hear all of that, then just keep on watching. Alright, so first and foremost, I picked this piece up. This is the Louis Vuitton 6 key holder in the Damier Graphite print. I opted to get this print even though this is the men's version. Number one, I wanted something a little bit different. Number two, black is my favorite color, so this was perfect. Number three, I really love the Damier print, and again, black is my favorite color, and I just think this is so different, and really it's not men's, anybody can use it. I personally wish they would make more bags and SLGs in the Damier Graphite and the monogram. What do they call the monogram? It's like the black monogram that's part of the men's line, as monogram Eclipse, I think is what it's called. I wish they would make more things in those because I think they're very universal and not just for men. But I wanted something a little bit different, and really out of the SLGs that I have and like that I was interested in, this is the perfect one to get in the men's line just because there's not a lot that I would really get from the men's line other than this. So with all that being said, this does come in the monogram, the Damier Ben. I believe it comes in the Azure as well. And let me tell you how much this actually retails for. So this is the 6 key holder, and it currently is retailing for $265. It comes in the Damier Graphite, the Damier Ben, monogram, as well as some leather options, which those are more expensive. This is canvas, which personally, I think I would rather the canvas version over the leathers just because this is probably like my most used piece. In fact, it definitely is because anytime I'm leaving the house, I need my keys with me. So, and a lot of times I'm driving my car places. So this gets the most wear. And I feel like if you were going to get like the monogram, or not the monogram, sorry. If you were going to get the empreinte leather, I feel like the embossing would probably wear away pretty quickly. Obviously, I don't own that one, so I can't attest to that. But I think canvas is great for something like this because it is very hard wearing. Now, I want to just say that I absolutely love this piece. This is actually probably my favorite SLG, favorite piece that I actually own, aside from like my Chanel card holder because I love that because it's Chanel. But this is definitely like my most used and favorite piece. I truly didn't think I was going to love it as much as I do, especially because when I first got it, I was very hesitant. You know, it can be a little bit gimmicky because, not gimmicky, but it's just a little bit, it takes longer to use versus if you just had your keys on a key ring, because if you have it closed, you do have to open it up and you have to flip out whatever key you want to use. Now, typically in most people that I've seen, they will leave their key fob out, you know, they'll leave it clipped out, and a lot of times that's what ends up happening for me too, just because that is the key I use the most. And if you have a car that doesn't need the actual key and it just needs the fob and it's push to start, then you probably actually won't even have to get into this as much. But I really do love this because, number one, it protects the inside of my bags and it protects my other SLGs. I am so glad I got this before I got my Chanel card holder because I think I would be a nervous wreck putting my keys without this in my bag at the same time as my card holder, just because that is an entirely leather piece. So I definitely think this is one of those must-have things if you keep other leather goods inside of your bag, or even your other, you know, canvas pieces if you just want to make sure that they are protected or the inside of your bag is protected, especially because your keys do get dirty, so you don't want that transferring into the lining of your bag. So overall, I definitely think this is, number one, a really great intro piece because of the price point. Number two, it's one of those pieces that you will definitely use day in and day out. Anytime you leave your house, you're going to be bringing this with you unless, you know, you don't need your keys and somebody else is driving. but majority of the time you're going to want to take your keys with you. So I think cost per wear is so minimal on this because, again, you use it every day. So, and I just really, again, love how it protects the keys. Now, in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I've had a little bit of a roller coaster experience with this piece. So I purchased this in March of 2020. I did buy it off the website. It came no problem. I don't even think I had to even stock this piece. It was just available. Now I think that the men's ones are more easily available than the other prints, but I think they do all pop up pretty often. It's not like these are super, super hard to get. So I got this in March of 2020. And I was using it every single day. Of course, at the beginning of this whole thing, I wasn't really driving as much, so it wasn't getting a ton of use in the first couple months that I owned it. But then, obviously, once my job had opened back up, I was driving every day, during the week and on weekends too. So I was getting a lot of use out of this. But I noticed about 6 months down the road, I think it was around September, that I noticed that the glazing was starting to peel. Now, I don't have a video of the first instance. Keep that in mind, I said first instance. I don't have a video of that, but I am going to insert a clip of the damage so you can see what I'm talking about. So just stay tuned for that. I want to get there first. So basically what it was right around this area, the glazing was coming completely undone. Like if I would have pulled at it at all, it would have totally unraveled. Now, obviously I was pretty upset by this because this was only 6 months after I got it and I wasn't even really using it that much. And I've seen, people on Facebook and videos where they've had theirs for years and they don't look like that. Usually what I see is there's wear on the button, which makes sense. So I ended up contacting my client advisor that I was establishing a relationship with at that point, which I'm really glad I did because I know with everything, it all just depends on who your advisor is or who you get. So I ended up messaging him and told him that I was having issues with this and that I was pretty bummed because I had just bought this 6 months ago and I felt like it was really not up to Louis Vuitton's quality standards. So he said, of course, no problem, bring it in, we'll send it off for complimentary repair. So they did that. It did take a few weeks, but it was definitely shorter than the estimate that they gave. So I got my piece back. It all looked great. I was super happy and I was like, okay, this is great. They handled it, no problem. But then recently I noticed that the exact same thing was happening again. It was peeling in the exact same spot. And now I'm going to insert a clip so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, mind you, when I first got it repaired, it was worse than this because it was, I don't know, maybe it was just defective at that point and it was peeling worse, or maybe I didn't notice it quick enough. But I noticed this one probably just a week or two ago, I noticed it and immediately I went in, talked to my client advisor and I told him, look, it's doing the exact same thing in the exact same spot. What can we do about this? Because it was literally I think it's only been a few months since I got my piece back and that just shouldn't be happening, They've repaired it. The pieces are meant to last a lot longer than this, so it just shouldn't be happening. So I went in and I was like, what can we do about this? So my normal advisor that had helped me before, he was actually busy with another customer, so he had one of his colleagues help me out. And she was like, you know what? She's like, let's just order another one and we're just going to do an even exchange. She's like, I get it, it's the exact same spot. So clearly the repair wasn't holding up. So fast forward about a week and a half, this came in, I went and exchanged my other one and picked this one up. Now, I'm definitely going to be monitoring the glazing on this very closely. However, I do feel that if I have a problem with this one, my chances of them being willing to kind of help for free is going to be probably less, but it wasn't anything I was doing because normally if you bring in a piece and they think that any damage was caused from normal wear and tear, they will not do anything about it complimentary. So the only times they really do anything complimentary is if it is definitely a defective, which again, my piece was having the glazing issue after only 6 months. That definitely shouldn't be happening. And then also the repair was happening again in the same spot. So clearly the glazing just didn't take to the item as strongly as it should have when they repaired it. So I genuinely hope and believe that this is probably not going to happen again because I've never really seen any other videos of anybody else complaining about having glazing issues. So I genuinely do think that it was a defect, which is why they replaced it, because obviously they think it was defective as well. And the advisor who helped me when I picked this up, she did mark it in as defective, so obviously that is how they're handling it. They weren't just exchanging it to appease me. There was definitely a real issue happening. Now, I will say I do notice some bits of I guess it's the glue from the glazing. I don't know if you're really going to be able to pick it up on camera. It's very, very minimal. I have noticed this on a few of my other pieces, specifically my PM Agenda. I've noticed it there too. It doesn't appear to be like the glazing is peeling. It's just like the little glue remnants, probably from however they attach the glazing to the piece. So, overall, I was actually very happy with how Louis Vuitton handled this. They definitely could have just tried to tell me that it was not their problem, that it was from normal wear, and I could have been out a piece basically, back 6 months ago. And even now, they could have told me, hey, we've repaired it, there's nothing we can do. But they took it back since, again, the problem was in the exact same spot. I could understand if maybe, something happened in a different spot, them being like, I don't know, is this from wear or is this defective? But mainly the thing is, I think, is from the length of time. I didn't own it for that long. I literally just hit 1 year of owning this in March. So it's not like I've had it for 5 years and then I'm taking it in trying to act like it's defective. So my biggest tip is also to make sure you very well inspect your bags or small leather goods when you're at the store, because I have noticed some pretty poor quality issues in pieces at the store. Not this piece, obviously, but when I've been browsing for other items, I have noticed some shoddy quality, and I'm surprised that they even put them out because they just look horrible, For someone like me who really is a Louis Vuitton enthusiast, I spend tons of time watching videos, I inspect my pieces, I'm looking at the pieces in the store. I can definitely tell when something is not up to quality standard, especially, when you think about the price points of these items. Even though this is technically a more affordable piece, it is still a lot of money for what it is. I'm sure you can go on Amazon and find comparable pieces of this for like $10. So when you're talking about a $265 piece, you want it to last more than a year. I'm expecting this to last me 5+ years, really, because the canvas is so long wearing, and as long as the glazing holds up, then I don't see any reason why this will not last me forever. As it should. That's the whole point of buying luxury, in my opinion, is that you're buying stuff that has higher quality, that is going to last you a lifetime if you take care of it. So really quick, for those of you who might not know how to put your keys on this, because I had to look up a video when I first bought this, and basically what you do is you have to press down. There are these little side tab things, and you just press down on one side and you have to push this out. So as you see, this is coming out. Let me slide it out a little more so you can see what I'm talking about. So that slides out, and then all you have to do is take the key ring, take it off, and you add your key to it. And then you just slide it back on, slide this back in, and voila. It's all on. And the other thing I want to note that I really do love about this piece, specifically the 6 key, they do make this in a 4 key option, and what I'm about to tell you will not work with the 4 key. So the beauty of the 6 key is that it is basically the exact width of a card. So what's great about this is if you just need to run to the grocery store really quick, you can throw your credit card and your driver's license in here, close her up, and you have everything all in one little bundle. I have done that numerous times. If I'm feeling like I don't want to bring a whole bag, I'm just running out really quick, I'll go ahead and stick my license and a credit card in here, and I'm good to go. Now, I do not really keep cards in here because I have heard of people saying that when they've kept their cards in here long term, it has created some indentation and wear at the edge, because it does basically fit exactly. It's not like you have a lot of extra space. So I don't really keep cards in there every day, but if I'm gonna, let's say for a week, I'm not gonna use a bag, I just keep my ID and credit card in there, it's fine. But in the long term, I usually keep my cards in a card holder or a wallet, but it is great for those of you that are very minimal, because it just makes it really easy. Let's say you're going to the gym. I used to do this all the time before I quit my gym. I now have home workout equipment. With everything going on, I decided I'd rather just invest in some home workout stuff so I don't have to go into the gym anymore. But when I was going, that's exactly what I would do. I would literally just stick exactly what I needed in here, and I would take this with me. That way it was just, I didn't need to bring a bag. I didn't need anything other than this. So it's really, really great. So I definitely recommend this piece if you're on the fence about it. Definitely go and get it, because I was a very big skeptic. I did not think I was going to like having to open up something to get to my keys, but I have found that it really doesn't bother me. Once you do it a few times and you get used to using your keys on this, you really won't have an issue, and it'll become second nature to you. When they actually had to send this out for repair the first time, I felt so lost not having this for like 4 or 5 weeks, however long it was. So I really do love this piece. Anyway, I feel like I've pretty much covered everything. If there's anything else you want to know, go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and I will definitely try to help you out. One of my favorite things is when you guys comment on my videos asking for advice on a specific piece or asking my opinion. You know, I just love being able to help you find the right piece. Honestly, I feel like I could be an amazing Louis Vuitton or luxury sales associate, just because I genuinely love being able to help people find what they're looking for. So if you have any questions at all, let me know down below and I will be glad to answer them. And if you have this piece, have you run into the same issues that I did? Did you have any glazing issues? You know, what was the length of time if you did? Or have you had this for years and you've never had an issue? I would love to know. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.